arriving in the city of Persepolis, we checked into the Apadana Hotel. As soon as we had settled in, we set out for a walk, hoping to get closer to the city of the Persians itself. We were lucky. The hotel receptionist opened a small gate for us that led to the main access road to the long-awaited monument. We headed toward the entrance gate. But of course, this is Iran, after all, our movement was being watched by numerous cameras. The road, open to the public during the day, was carefully guarded after dark. After a short while, we were politely sent back the way we had come. Persepolis began to be built around 518 BC by the third Achaemenid king and one of the greatest rulers of antiquity, Darius I. The new capital of the expanding empire was originally called Parsa. The first references to the city appeared only in Greek sources, and the Greek name Persepolis, the city of the Persians, has been used ever since.
The terrace can be reached by a magnificent double staircase with 111 steps, with every 4 to 6 steps carved from a single block of stone. Each step is only about 10 centimeters high. This low height was chosen so that distinguished delegations in long robes could ascend with appropriate dignity and grace.
Iranians call Persepolis after the mythical Persian king Jamshid, who is credited with introducing the celebration of the new year. For the construction of the city, Darius I chose the foothills of Ku-e-Rahmath. In front of this mountain an enormous terrace was created, measuring roughly 300 by 400 meters. Part of the terrace was carved directly into the mountain, while the rest was built up. Its front wall rises to an impressive height of 18 meters.
On the terrace, King Darius I had the magnificent Apadana Palace built, one of the wonders of ancient architecture, as well as the royal treasury. His successors added further buildings, including the Hall of 100 Columns, built by his son Xerxes I. Every year, rulers from all the conquered territories gathered in Persepolis to swear loyalty to the Persian king and bring gifts. Over the centuries, enormous wealth accumulated in Persepolis. When Alexander the Great captured the city in 330 BC, he reportedly needed 3,000 camels to carry away all the treasure. Alexander drove the last Persian king, Darius III, out of the city and completely destroyed Persepolis. According to legend, he even set it on fire while drunk.
With that, Alexander ended the existence of the city, which had lasted for less than 200 years. The ruins gradually disappeared beneath sand and rubble. The remains of the city saw daylight again only in the 1930s. As one of the most important ancient monuments in the world, Persepolis was inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List in 1979. After climbing the massive staircase onto the terrace, we pass through the monumental Gate of All Nations, built by King Xerxes I. The gate is guarded by extraordinary creatures with the body of a bull, the wings of an eagle, and the head of a bearded man. Above them we see inscriptions written in cuneiform. Xerxes himself declares here that he is a mighty king and that together with his father he built this and many other magnificent structures. Passing several stone statues of horses, we go to see the remains of the throne hall known as the Hall of 100 Columns, whose roof was supported by 10 by 10 columns, each 14 meters high. The palace was entered through 8 gates guarded by stone bulls. The outer walls and parts of some of the gates have been restored so that visitors can better imagine the original size of the throne hall. On a wall right next to the palace there is a relief of a ruler seated on a throne supported by 28 men. Each man represents one of the conquered nations.
Nearby are also the remains of the Apadana Palace, where the king welcomed the most distinguished delegations in a grand reception hall. From the palace, the outer walls have been preserved, featuring the relief of the procession of provincial representatives bringing gifts. It is an enormous relief composed of thousands of figures, animals, and goods, created as another demonstration of the ruler's power. It depicts the peoples of the entire empire in their traditional clothing and with distinctive features of their dress or appearance, such as hats, hairstyles, weapons, and footwear. Each delegation consists of 3 to 9 figures bringing tribute. One of the most beautiful images is the symbol of the Zoroastrian god Ahura Mazda on the northern staircase leading to the palace. Behind Apadana stand the well-preserved palaces of Darius I and Xerxes I, with massive entrance gates that once served as banquet halls. Their walls are decorated with additional reliefs depicting heroic deeds of the kings, battles with animals or mythical creatures, allegories of evil and hostile forces, and inscriptions written in cuneiform. Remarkably, both palaces already had a sewage system built beneath their floors. Finally, we climbed up to the rock tomb of Artaxerxes III, who was buried directly above the city. From the tomb there is the most beautiful view of the entire Persepolis, with which we were able to say goodbye.
نه فرقی نمیکنه ما میتونیم اونور حلبو بزنیم حلبو اونور نداریم نه محافظت بکنه نه ما دست خون بلوکو میتونیم بریم دست ها از خلوصهای باتردار بیاریم میتونی با فاصله بایستیم اصلا لازم نیست نزدیک باشید آره تو هم برو چی خاله
Merci.
On the occasion of the 2500th anniversary of the Persian monarchy, the last Shah, Muhammad Reza Pahlavi, organized magnificent celebrations. In 1971, luxurious tents were erected in Persepolis for the event. Only 8 years passed after these celebrations before the monarchy collapsed under the appealing slogans of the revolution led by Ruhollah Khomeini. Immediately after taking power in 1979, Islamic revolutionaries considered destroying Persepolis, regarding it as an unnecessary and non-Islamic relic that also reminded people of the glorious history before the arrival of Islam. Fortunately, this never happened. Thousands of volunteers from across the country came to defend Persepolis. The disputes over the city subsided, and the valuable monument survived. However, the ruins of the Shah's famous tent city show how relative the feeling can be in Iran that someone holds power firmly in their hands.